All right, so we're on to the next question here. Okay. Okay. So, for this next question, we are given a function f of x, so we can write it out as so f of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared. And we are told to evaluate the function at an x value of I. Alright, so I, as we might all know, is just the square root of -1. It is a fundamental concept, and there are some properties that we can write down here which are going to be useful for solving this this problem. So for example, if we were to take I squared, that would just be multiplying I by itself, which is the same thing as multiplying the square root of -1 times the square root of -1. And we all know if we multiply two square roots with the same value in the square root, then we just get what's inside of it, so -1. And then we can say the same thing about I cubed. It's another property. So I cubed would just be I squared times I, which we already found what I squared is, which is -1, and I is just the square root of -1. So in other words, it's just -I, right? That's a more shorthand way of writing it. And then I to the fourth is pretty straightforward. It would just be I squared times I squared, so that would be -1 times -1, and that's just 1. And normally how I works is as you progress sort of past 3, so I to the third, the values tend to repeat themselves. So for example, I to the first would equal I to the fifth, which would equal I to the ninth, and so on and so forth. But that's not really necessary for this problem. So getting back to it, by substituting in I into this equation, we get I cubed minus 2 I squared. And if we just look at the values, the exponent values of I that we just found, we see that I squared right here is equal to -1. So we know that we can just substitute in -1 for this I squared. And I cubed is equal to -I, so we could just plug in -I for I cubed. Afterwards, -2 times -1, we get a +2, so we could just rewrite this as 2 minus I. And then this would be our answer right here. So let's just have a look at how the written solution was done. So yes, we have all I squared and I cubed written out here for this problem, and they did find that 2 minus I is the correct solution, and that is answer choice D. So I'm just going to write that that is correct solution. Great job.